It's coffee time. Feel the chocolate. Good morning, campers. How is everybody out there today? We're drinking some coffee with Chucky again. I gotta change hands here. Today we're doing a coffee chat, a coffee vlog, chatting about my old band. In case you guys never knew, I was in a band. I used to play drums in some local bands. We traveled around town. Town, like we did more than town. We traveled. We did the New England area. We did some states. But first, let me take a sip of coffee. Hold on. It tastes so good. It's pretty chilly out here. It's not quite spring yet, but I'm ready for it. Actually, it's currently I know my camera's back. I got reverse camera on. It's 38 and a half degrees out. It's very dry, not a cloud in the sky, no wind really, which is good, but it's a little chilly, not gonna lie. I'm ready for summer. I know you guys are. I think I'm definitely ready for summer. We still look at this. Just leaves from the fall. We haven't cleaned up yet. Because, wanna know why? Because I'm the one that cleans them up. My back is basically broken. That's why. So, yeah. This is some quality content for you guys. This is the content for you people that are bored and enjoy watching me ramble about nonsense, about stuff. And I know I'm just going on already. I know. Let's get into this. Let me sit down at the old picnic table here. Let me tell you guys something. My daughter broke my new tripod I got recently. So I was like, shit. I have to use the old selfie stick, which I don't like. I just hate selfies. The whole selfie stick thing killed me. Like when people ruin that, you know, it would have been cool if they never called it a selfie stick and those stupid girls that are like, you know, it would have been cool if it was just like like some kind of a little feature for your videos, but instead they ruined it. The fuck is that? Hold on. I need something to prop my camera up on. I need something like a stick or something. Ugh. This is my selfie stick right here, motherfucker. This is my selfie stick. This is how I gotta prop my camera up because the real selfie stick broke. I can't have anything anymore, you know? Alright. It's bad enough I'm using my iPhone on reverse camera and my other shit's broken. Alright. There we go. Hey. Cheers. If you guys don't have a coffee, go grab a coffee. I'm telling you. Coffee is the answer to relaxation and to meditate. I've been drinking since I was 20, 21, and I'm like 45 right now. I know I'm a boomer. Sorry. If you don't like it, you know where to go. Anyways, I dyed the hair. It was getting too gray. Dyed it a little bit. I know I'm going bald. That's wear a hat. I started drinking when I was 21. I don't drink to get drunk. I don't drink because I have to drink. I don't get out of control. I'm not an angry person. I just like to have a couple beers every night. It relaxes me. I like the taste of it. I enjoy it. That being said, after drinking for that long, I didn't realize how much damage it actually does to your liver. Recently, I've been getting really bloaty in the belly, like fat, like a pregnant woman, you know. But everywhere else, I feel like I'm gaining some weight, but mostly right here. Lately, it's been kind of hurting. Like I've been having some kind of like tender pain on the outside, not in my belly, but like kind of on my skin. So I looked into it. I called my doctor. I got blood work done. I went to the lab, all that stuff. Came back that I have a couple problems and my liver's taking a toll. So my doctor told me you need to stop or cut down right now. Let's do a few more tests and your liver can regenerate itself, which is great, but that's scary, man. I have a wife, I have kids, family. I need to just stop for a while. Maybe like later on down the road, if things get better, maybe I'll cut way down, you know. So it's not worth it to me. It sucks. And it is a little hard. Like last night, I'm watching a movie. 8 o'clock rolls around. I felt like I needed to have a beer in my hand. Like I'm pretty much an alcoholic, I guess, you know. I never wanted to admit it, but I guess I am. So there's that. Let's have another sip of coffee and get back into today's vlog, today's chat. As much as you guys all know me as Campfacer, I'm into video games, horror movie stuff. That's what my channel's all about. I also talk about other things I've done in my past or still do. That being said, again, I used to play in a few bands growing up, basically between the ages of 16 to 25, 30, give or take. I haven't played in a long time, but I used to play drums. I started out on the bass guitar, and it all started actually when I was 16. I got into that ska band, the Mighty Mighty Bosstones. I went to their shows. I went to see heavy metal hardcore bands. I saw, like, you know, Ministry, Helmet, the Mighty Mighty Bosstones, any band you can think of. I used to go to shows all the time, hardcore shows, rock bands, everything. I was so into the scene, going to the clubs. I loved live entertainment. I told myself, I want to do that someday. I want to be on that stage. So I ran to my local music store after my first job. I was washing dishes, and I bought a trumpet because I thought, ska, the Bosstones, I thought I could make I started playing the trumpet, and it didn't work out. It sucked. Then I bought a bass guitar. The bass guitar, I thought, back when I was young, that it made distortion, like, you know, Metallica, like I thought that's what bass guitar did. And I learned to play it even though it didn't do that. And I started playing a couple shows with my local band with a bass guitar, but then I realized I have a lot of rhythm in me, and I sat down at the drums one day and I was better at the drums than I was bass guitar. So then I thought to myself, I want to be a drummer, you know? So from there, I'm not going to go on and on and on in detail, but I started playing drums. I self-taught. I just listened to music with headphones as I tried playing along. That's how I learned how to, as long as you can keep tempo, keep rhythm, you can work, as long as you can play a beat to rhythm on a click track, or not even a click track, just tapping your foot along with the music. You stay in rhythm, stay in tempo, you can play anything. Even if you change it up a little bit, you'll like to play to your own style. So I learned how to play the drums, And I got into playing with some punk rock bands, and we'd play shows around town. We'd go to the city, and every once in a blue moon, we'd go out of state, if it made sense, But I have a couple stories I thought I'd like to share. It was kind of funny. One of my last bands, it was like a hardcore rock band. Excuse me. Kind of like an indie hardcore band. It was called Verbana Darvel. Don't ask. It's just a name we came up with. We would try to always be kind of unique. Something that you were like, what's that mean? Use your imagination. I don't know. So it was Verbana Darvel with a V, and then the second word with a D. Hold on. Anyways, we recorded in the studio a 5-song demo. We played shows around. We'd get our name in the city. This is back before cell phones were out. And there was no social media. Actually, MySpace just came out back in those days. There was no Facebook, or I think YouTube was out before MySpace, but YouTube wasn't even like a big thing. It was all about MySpace, and MySpace was great. MySpace was like more of a band thing, but with fans out there. Like it was like a Facebook, but more so with band profile. Like you could go to a band page and you could set up so your song would automatically play. You'd have a playlist. You could have like your top 8 friends list, and then fans would connect. It was a great tool for bands. Nowadays, there's nothing like that, Because overnight, MySpace, literally somebody bought MySpace and changed the website, and it crashed. Like everyone left. Overnight, I'm not even joking. And I started freaking out. I'm like, I guess I'm going to have to go to fucking Facebook, whatever that is. It's like a family tree of all my family. They never came over to MySpace, but they joined this Facebook shit. Oh, man. Anyways, the story is... we played shows. We even I was basically a manager to the band. I basically booked the shows. I basically got us into the studios to record. I kind of like gave a little direction. Like I didn't want to be like that person, but they were excited. My brother was the singer, the guitar player, my friends on guitar, bass. They were like, yeah, just do what you have to do. This is awesome. I even got us into the Warped Tour. We got to play on the Hot Topic stage at the Vans Warped Tour. That was awesome. We got to play clubs with big bands that came into town. I knew the booking agents in the clubs. I always got our name in there. I got my band's foot in the door in a lot of places around here, and it was really cool. It made a lot of friends, and that's what it was all about. It was playing shows, and as long as you had some fans show up or even made new fans at the club, give or take, we'd have about anywhere between, like on a normal average, 25 to like 60 people, give or take. Even if they weren't all of our fans, the other bands that played would stick around, watch us play, come up, buy t-shirts, make friends. It was a lot of fun. There was a lot of energy. When I played shows, I call them shows. I know some people out there call them concerts, but shows are more like small venue, intimate. A concert, I look at it like a stadium, like AC/DC, you know what I mean? So we call them shows. Anyways, a lot of the shows we play, either you had a good night or you had a bad night. When I say bad night, I mean like we get on stage, things just didn't sound or feel right, and maybe only like 20 people scattered about drinking at the bar, and we play, but we didn't feel it, We get off the stage and we're like, A good night, we had no expectations. We'd walk in, we show up at the venue, get on stage and play, and we played. It was mobs of people coming up, and that you could hear the monitors, everything, everyone on stage sounded good. You felt like you were sweating, you rocked the fuck out. Things, even if something went bad, it still was, like if a cymbal fell over, I'd still play and like hit the cymbal on the ground as I'm playing. We'd feel it, and like the guitar player would jump into the drums a little bit, and we'd rock the fuck out. And we'd get off that stage, and people would be like, that was awesome, And people would buy t-shirts, and we get in that van on the way home. We're like, hell yeah. We get on our MySpace page the next day. People would be like, dude, that show last night was awesome. And I'm like, man, we're gonna make it big someday. This is rad. You know, that was so much energy. Hold on. So yeah, once you got that feeling of being on the stage, because like the first few times being in a band, jumping on a stage, honestly, there's some stage fright. I don't care how comfortable you are. There's always that fear of like, you know, we could mess up bad. We could make ourselves look like, or not even that. You're just there. You're looking down. Everyone's walking up to the stage, all eyes on you. But after you do it, after a while, it becomes more of an addiction. So that's why I also started doing my YouTube channel and live streaming. I'm very comfortable live streaming because I feel like I can entertain you guys and I don't give a fuck. Things go wrong, but that's all about. That's all part of being live. That's why being live is so much fun, because if it went perfect, it wouldn't be as fun. It's fun because you mess up, you know? We're human. We're not robots. We're not programmed. So that being said, here's a little story. One time we booked a show. This is a bad night and a good night in a weird way. One time we booked a show. It was in Massachusetts. We had no idea about the venue. We were just trying to book as many shows as possible to keep a rhythm going, to get our name out there. Because the more you played, the more popular people would start to know and hear about your name. So we were just booking shows wherever. We didn't even know about this place. It was in Massachusetts. It was a bar / like club. We were excited, got in the van. We drove about an hour and a half, almost 2-hour drive. You know, we get there. We promoted the show too throughout the week, and we told our friends we're going to be playing at this show. And we get there, and it was kind of in a dark back way down towards like this river, kind of a ghetto area. We get there, and nobody's really there. We see a few cars, and we're like, shit, we're going on in like an hour and a half from now. I thought there'd be, whatever, maybe they'll show up, So we unload the van, we bring all of our equipment through the back door where the little stage thing is. We load our equipment in there, and there's one band going on before us. As we're bringing our equipment in, they're getting ready, they're setting up on stage, they're getting ready to go on in about 20 minutes or so. And there's 3 people sitting at a bar, and there's a little pub restaurant up back further, and there's a couple people sitting there, and the people sitting at the bar, they're just there to drink. They're not even there about they're not there for music. They're just hanging out, and they're just sitting there looking over, oh, gonna be having some music playing tonight, And I'm just sitting there itching my head, what the fuck did I book? What did I get us into here? So the first band's playing, and we're gonna go halfway through the set. We're going on next, and there's still no one there, and I'm just sitting here my bass player, my guitar player, and my brother, the singer, he's like, dude, what are we fucking doing here? We were tired, and we had a long drive back, and we were like, what's the point of even playing, because we've done this a few times, and we're over it, we've had good shows, huge, a bunch of big shows, and then we play shows like this, we're like, fuck. So we made up an excuse. I know this sounds bad, but we made an excuse. Hold on, let me drink my coffee. So we made an excuse to tell the owner of the club that was there, the manager or whatever, that we had to leave before we played, We made an excuse that my guitar player's girlfriend got in a car accident, and she was in the hospital. We had to leave. That's what we came up with. Okay, I know that sounds horrible, but we're trying to get out of it without ruining our reputation and pissing off the owner, or whatever. So we started just packing up. I was like, let's pack it up, and then I'll tell her. So as we're packing the van back up, we're hoping she didn't notice us bringing our equipment back out the door. We packed the van up, and I go over and I tell her, and she's like, at the time, she's like, all right. So then we leave. And the next day, I get a nasty email from the owner, the manager, saying, that wasn't right. blah, 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 blah. You shouldn't have left. I'm sorry to hear about your girlfriend, but, I got to run this club and this and that, the next thing. And I'm sitting there itching my head like, what the fuck is she talking about? It's not like we brought 300 people in and they all left because we had to leave. There was no one there. So she's like, she made threats. She threatened she was going to tell all the club owners around where we live in Massachusetts. She was going to spread a bad rap for us, all this stuff. And I said, look, I apologize. I explained to her, my girlfriend got in a car accident. Still kept the lie going. Anyways, I told her, I'll make it up to you. Do you need a band to play? Next date, we'll be there. So she's like, okay, let's handshake on this next show. So about 3 weeks away, we're on another show there. We show up. Again, there's no one there. So we get there. There's like 2 people at the bar. We're like, fuck it. We're just going to play. We're going to rock it like it's like a sold out show. We're going to, everyone in my band was like, let's just do this. We jump up on stage. And it's just this small little dinky stage in the corner of this little bar. And the bar kind of wraps in front of it. It's so tight and small. And we're like, I don't think they're going to enjoy this. Because I think they think that we're some kind of like a soft playing jazz band with clean vocals. No, we're a hardcore pounding rock indie band that's going to like... The people that are sitting at the bar are going to get up and leave because they're going to be like, this is too fucking loud. So we get up, we're like, we're Verbena Darville from Providence, Rhode Island. We have the feedback from we have huge half-stack cabinets, everything. It's like, woo, we're getting our intro ready. We have our buddy doing our lights, like strobe lights and stuff. We're like, we have a fog machine. We're sitting there and I'm like ringing out the cymbals and it's like, it's like a bomb's getting ready to fucking go off. And there's this old guy sitting at the bar. He looked like the guy from The Wedding Singer, the old drunk that sits at the bar, like, woo, woo. He stands up and he's drinking, he's like spilling his beer and he's like sitting there. He's got baggy, old, haggy clothes on. He's sitting in front of, and he's drinking his beer, and 2 other guys come up. There's 3 people at the show that are drunk just watching us. And we're like, 1, 2, 3. We're like, da, 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 boom. We're rocking. We rocked out for like 25 minutes so fucking hard. My bass guitarist, where you plug the wire into the bass, where the knobs are, the volume and stuff, like that plate, somehow the nuts came out and it kind of like the wires that are under that sprung out, and in the bass guitar basically exploded. My cymbal fell over. The fog machine's going. We're sweating. The whole place is coming down. We're rocking out so hard. It was probably our best feeling show, to the music, to the beat. We felt like we were playing a sold out show at like Gillette Stadium in front of like 20,000 people or some shit like that. It was crazy. It was bizarre. We got off that stage like we were so proud of ourselves. We basically showed we made it up to them in front of 3 people. It was ridiculous. And I'll never forget that show. It was crazy. It was crazy. I know it was a long story for such a weird story. Coffee's getting cold. It's almost gone now. As I dump the rest out and I spill, fucking dude, I'm so bad. I have so many band stories. It's unreal. Another quick one. When we booked one of the bands that we were inspired by, a bigger band that's on a record label, they're not around anymore, or they sometimes do shows. They were called Hot Rod Circuit. They were like an indie rock band. Really good band. If you've never heard of Hot Rod Circuit, look them up on YouTube. Every single CD they have is amazing. Every song and they're not a one-hit wonder. They're a wonder for rock. I love Hot Rod Circuit. That being said, I heard that the singer, guitar player, he was opening up a recording studio in Alabama where they're located, or he lived in Alabama. So I told him, I sent him a demo, and he was like, I'm interested in recording you guys, because it was kind of like the style he was like into recording, even though I know he might have been just trying to make money, but it was still exciting. So I booked a week with him to do like 3 solid songs for a week. You know, between recording them, or writing some new parts, recording them, mixing them, mastering them, all said and done. By the time we drive down there, drive back, a week. So that was good for 3 songs. So the plan was I was going to rent a minivan. And we were going to, he had all the instruments, he had a drum set down there, he had amps. All we had to do is bring like, I don't know, drumsticks or whatever. That was it. He had everything down there. So basically Hot Rod Circuit's equipment we're going to use. So that we were in our awe. We were like, holy shit, we're going to hang out with the singer from Hot Rod Circuit, use Hot Rod Circuit's equipment, record. He has his name in the door with record labels, all this stuff. So we were excited, and we're going on a little vacation too. So we were pumped. So all we brought was our luggage, but we didn't have enough money at that point in time to rent a minivan. So my friend, the bass player, Matt, he was going to use his Volkswagen Golf with 5 people. It was me, Matt, Kevin, my brother Blaine, and our friend Tori. She was our violinist. All 5 of us with luggage and a small Volkswagen Golf. We're going to drive in the middle of the summer from here in Rhode Island all the way down to Montgomery, Alabama. And we were like so excited, but we packed up the car, and we literally had to do like the fetal position around each other, and one of them had to like lay in the back hatch with like stuff over them. And I was like, this is kind of fucking sketchy. I don't know how we're going to make it all over to Alabama in this Volkswagen Golf. So we said, fuck it. I started driving out of the driveway from here, and we started driving down the main road. About 5 miles down the road, the fucking muffler falls off because it's bottoming out, I think. So we pull over. He gets out, takes the muffler, throws it in the bushes. We get back in. Now the car's like, we're driving down the road. He's like, shit, I need gas. I'm like, oh my God, this is a bad sign. Pull in the gas station, another mile down the road. He puts gas in. Now the car is like touching the fucking ground. We're making sparks as we're pulling out of the drive. I'm like, dude, I have a really bad feeling about this. So we itch our heads. We're like, fuck, because we're on a time schedule now. Andy's going to be like waiting eventually. It's going to take us about 18 hours to drive down there, whatever it is. So we go back home, and we're like, what are we going to do? Because that's not going to happen. We're not going to drive in that car. This is a bad idea. So we get my grandmother to use her credit card. So we had to drive another like 45 minutes up towards the city, to the airport, to the rental car place. I got a minivan. We got back in the minivan. We were way more comfortable. We drove, 19, 20 hours, whatever it was, to Alabama. We had a ball. We recorded. We got to sleep at Andy Jackson's house with his family and kids. We partied. We drank some beers. We went. His recording studio was at a church, like outside the church. They had like a giant like tool shed type thing, but he made it into a recording studio because the church owner was friends with him. So we recorded during the day, hung out at his house at night. We drove around Alabama. It was that 4th of July. I remember that because everybody was lighting off fireworks in his neighborhood. And I'm like, well, back where I live, it's illegal at the time, you know? So it was a blast. We finally made it back to Rhode Island. We had a solid 3 songs. It was a lot of fun. I'll never forget that adventure, though. That was one time I'll never forget, recording with Andy from Hot Rod Circuit. That was a fun story. I mean, there was so many things that we did in the past, being in a band. So many fun, cool things. So many wrong things. Just memories we'll never forget. The times of my life, and I'll tell you guys this. Back when I was going to record with Andy, some people were like, we got to plan it out better, but we just jumped in and went. That's what we did. Sometimes in life, if you pass up an opportunity, you'll regret it, you know? So always, if you have an opportunity, go for it. Even if there's like a wall kind of blocking you, you feel like, well, maybe I should build a ladder and get what I need and scale the wall the right way, and then eventually, no, you want to just fucking, you want to take a vine or a rope and go up over that wall and go for it. Just go for it, because what the fuck was that? You just want to go for it in life. You just got to go for it. Go for it. Go for it. I know this is going on. If you guys have made it this far, you guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. I'm trying to think if there's any other little stories. I'll have to do more band stories in a different vlog down the road, because I know this is getting into like over a half an hour long. I'm doing this basically with no edits either. I'm just gonna throw this up as is, you know, because I don't have a lot of time to sit and edit all the time on my computer. There's so much going on lately. I need to find more time to do everything, you know. There's more things going on behind the scenes than you guys know, with the kids, school, driving, doing errands, this, that, the next thing. It's crazy. And then when I do have time, I have to like do something for myself before I do the YouTube vlog stuff, you know. So, I think that's it for today for stories. I know I am missing out on a ton of fun, great stories, but I guess that's it for now. I want to thank you for watching and hanging out. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys as always. Again, I hit 5,000 subscribers, which is awesome. I did a giveaway on my live stream. I also hit 1 million views overall on my channel. That's awesome as well. I never got a million of anything in my life. This is the first million of anything I've got. I wish it was money, but it's not. Until next time, you guys, make sure to like and subscribe. I appreciate it if you haven't already. And as always, stay out of the woods, because you guys know the story about going in the woods. You know what happens in those woods. All right, guys, I'll see you later. Thanks for watching.